The football season has started. Let's get into it. Hello, welcome to On Me Edson. I hope you're well. If you like what I do here, don't forget to like and share the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notifications bell for all future videos. So, the English Premier League football season has started this last weekend, and we've had some humdingers in the mix as well. Some really good games, and I've been waiting all summer for this to happen. Yes, I know we've had the Euros, and yes, I know we've had the Olympics, but let's face it, the football season started. That's where it's at. I love my boxing, I love my MMA and all that kind of stuff, but when it comes to the number one sport for me, it is always football, closely followed by boxing. I've got to admit. But football's where it's at now. My team, West Ham United, we're let's put it this way, we're kind of full of hope because of all the signings that we've made during the summer. And we came up against Aston Villa. Yeah, we got beat 2-1. But listen, it's kind of, we're on the building blocks, I would say. But, as we say, fortune's always hiding for the West Ham fan base, I would say. But other teams went out there. Some decent wins for Liverpool. Newcastle got off the mark as well. Brentford as well, they were out there. Man United with a narrow win on Friday night against Fulham. Man City beating Chelsea quite convincingly, much to the annoyance of the Chelsea fan base with all the shenanigans that's going on there as well. So some very interesting games over the weekend. Tottenham playing Leicester tonight as well. Leicester newly promoted. So, I've got a feeling in my veins, in my water, there's something burning there. And that's not the UTI, by the way. This has got to do with this season. I just got a feeling it's got to be quite an epic season. I think there's many teams there who have bought well in the summer. Let's say like West Ham. I truly believe that have bought well. But it's whether it can all fit together, whether the new manager, for example, can fit it all together and get a team out of it. Just like by contrast, Aston Villa, they've bought well in the summer, but they still had a really good team there. A lot of the core players from last season were still there. So, there wasn't much of a change, and they played really well. Aston Villa are a decent side. How are Man United going to do? They weren't really convincing against Fulham, but Fulham on another day, could do quite well as well. So don't write off Fulham. Liverpool looked strong. They did really well against Ipswich. You got to kind of, it's only one game into the season, but you got to look at the likes of Ipswich, how they're going to fare against the other teams, because it's not really about the top six. You might get a result here and there, but it's about the other teams in the division. Can you get enough points to just stay in the league? How naive are you going to be? How defensively savvy are you going to be? These are all the questions that any team should be asking themselves, or any fan should be asking of themselves as well, especially out of those top six teams. Now, who are the top six right now? Who are those teams? Are we still including Man United and Chelsea in that? Because they're not top six really. Are we talking? It's got to be Arsenal, who had a decent win as well, 2-0. It's got to be Arsenal. It's got to be Man City. It's got to be Liverpool. Well, there's a 3. Do you throw Tottenham in there? Yeah. Could you throw Newcastle in there? Do you throw Aston Villa in there? Yeah, because they were definitely there as well at the end of last season. So, it could be a big change in the guard now. We can't really talk about a top 6 maybe. Maybe really should be talking about a top 8 right now, or 7 or 8 for the European places. Those are your best in the league, which they are. Let's face it. The position in the league doesn't lie. So every other team around that, below that, and struggling for relegation, those are the teams they're going to be looking at to beat and to get points off if they can. But every other team around them, or below those top 7 or 8 places, those are the ones where you gotta get some points. How successful you're going to be. My team, if I look at West Ham right now, I think, well, where are the points going to come from? It's so many ifs and buts. It really depends on how a new manager with a new group of players and lots of signings, new signings, can he make them gel? And this is going to be the same for every manager and every team. As we look at the first game of the season, you think it's too early to tell. And I totally agree. I'm not saying right now this is where it's at. What I'm saying is between 5 and 10 games into the season, kind of when you're looking at about mid-October, late October, that's kind of when you're looking at to see you know what? We need to do something about this. We need to change the way we're doing things. And some managers are already coming under pressure. Chelsea manager, I believe, was coming under pressure in the pre-season friendlies, for Christ's sake. He's certainly coming under pressure. And it's not his fault. It's not his fault for me, because, you know, you've got a board, you've got ownership that are buying 40 or 50 players or whatever it is in their squad. There's just too many players to be messing around with. You've also got Raheem Sterling coming out and just putting out, a public notice of how disappointed he is, and, you know, all this kind of stuff. It's almost like, you know, you haven't really got that squad together, operating together, singing off the same hymn sheet, and, you know, it's just too many. That's the problem. It's almost like he's got an impossible job there. But we're talking the first game of the season. The first game of the season, then all of a sudden we're already talking about problems. Look, there have been managers in the past. Who was it? Frank de Boer, who got sacked from Crystal Palace a few years ago, only after 3 games into the season. This could happen. I'm not saying to Chelsea, Chelsea fans, hold your horses here. I'm not saying this is going to happen, but obviously there's problems within that club. There could be lots of problems emerging in other clubs within the next 2 or 3 games, and you'll see the writings on the wall very early on. So whilst it'd be too early to be making any formal predictions at that point, you can see a trend that needs to be addressed straight away. And especially if it's a negative trend, they need to address that straight away. Certainly likes of Chelsea, certainly likes of West Ham, for example, who've made big investments as well, and they need to look at seeing how these players can come together and make a team that can play attractive football that the fans are going to like. And yeah, we like some of the changes that have been made. We like some of the possession-based football, but it always has to translate into results, or either draws or wins. If you start having lots of losses, then all of a sudden you're going to have lots of problems going forward. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below about your particular team. Are you excited about the new season started? I'm sure you are, just like me. Were you disappointed in your team's performance over this last weekend? Some of the teams like that I just thought were a little bit lackluster. I think the Man United, I'd say you look at that team, and look, if you're a fan of Manchester United, I would say you're kind of looking at that thinking, I'm not 100% sure whether a lot has changed here. I'm not sure whether, we can really say that we've turned a corner with Manchester United, and they're going to go on to bigger and better things. But I've always said as well, if you can win ugly, if you can win when you're struggling, then that is a great building block to develop and to get things in order and to work your problems out. As long as you keep on winning, as long as you build momentum, build confidence, that can fix a lot of ills in a team. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. But Tottenham against Leicester tonight, that's going to be an interesting game. Who could win that? It's too early to tell, isn't it? It's too early to tell. You probably have to favour Tottenham on that, but, sneaky little Leicester coming up. Steve Cooper in charge. Yeah, let's just see how they do. But the games are going to be coming thick and fast now, and I can't wait. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. If you like what I do here, don't forget to like and share the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notifications bell for future videos, and I will catch you again on another video coming very soon. Bye now.